uh, YouTube, we are here. We're live. Man, we have got an amazing, I got my miracle lined up for you today. It was so miraculous. I couldn't have just one person on. I had to have three of these amazing gentlemen that are here. I'm so excited. This live stream is called I Got My Miracle. And it is that every week we select one person to step forth as a representative of the miraculous changes that have occurred in 1 week here at Rythmia. And this week, I'm really excited to have the three of you, Josh, Bobby, and Dustin, here. And I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to let our conversation do the rest of the talking. But I'm glad you're here to join us. And here we are. Josh. Now, I'm going to start with Josh because this is your second time here.
It is.
And what brought you back?
Yeah, so the first time I came down here because I was so disassociated from my true self. I was numb. I self-isolated. I was just so stuck in my own trauma. And yeah, that was last May. And when I came down here, I received my miracle and I was reconnected with my soul. And I was able to feel emotion again for the first time in probably since I was a kid. And because of that, this past year has been so transformative for me. It completely changed my life for the better. And so I decided to come back down just to go deeper spiritually. I just had this calling, like the medicine was calling me back down and I had more work to do. And it just felt so right coming back down here. So part of it was to go deeper spiritually. And then part of it was for physical healing. In 2021, I had leukemia. And ever since then, my body has been completely dysregulated. And the doctors can't figure out what's going on with me. I've seen every type of doctor you can think of, and I haven't gotten any answers. So that was the other part of the reason I came down here.
And what does the dysregulation look like for you? What is that?
Yeah. So it looks like vertigo, fatigue, fluid in my lungs, bone and nerve pain, muscle pain, loss of appetite, losing weight, not able to keep weight on. And then as far as blood work goes, just my vitamin levels are all low and I'm not absorbing nutrients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Up till now.
Up till now.
Up till now.
Up till now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so for you at the end of this week,
Yes.
What are you leaving with? What's shifted for you this week?
I think Taita healed me spiritually. Like I feel probably the best I've ever felt in my life in my own body. And it was magical. It was extremely magical for me. I'm leaving here with a deeper relationship with myself, with that radical self-acceptance for myself. No shame or anything around my true self anymore. And it's the most beautiful, liberating thing ever.
Oh, man, I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it. And I'm knowing that it's that connection with yourself that is already healing your physical body.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I can feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Yeah.
And then you met Bobby.
Yes.
Tell us how you guys met and that Bobby's here with you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So this last July, we actually put on a healing retreat for veterans on Big Island in Hawaii. And we were looking for volunteers to help out. And this guy volunteered. I'd never met him before. Literally stranger volunteered to help us. And when we met, it was immediate connection. It was immediate. We knew like immediately that this was something special. And it's funny, like the first time I met him, I was just like, we're going to do Aya together, man. I can feel it. Like there's just something in my gut. I know that we're going to go down there and do it together. And here we are.
and this, like one of the special things about this group is that we have 3 veterans here that had tremendous healings with ayahuasca. And we know that there's a lot of healing physically and emotionally with psychedelics, specifically ayahuasca, regarding PTSD, right? And what studies are showing is the Sigmar-1 gene, which is responsible for traumatic memory retrieval and restorage, that something happens with the beta-carbolines and harmine and harmaline, the alkaloids, the active ingredients of ayahuasca, DMT is one of the active ingredients, but there's all these other alkaloids as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you just do DMT, it's one thing, but when you take the whole plant, there's a holistic synergy that occurs. And something with those, that's what they're studying, something with the alkaloids in ayahuasca helps in the way that you, during ceremony, retrieve these memories and then restore them with a different narrative. And did you feel that this week?
Absolutely. I felt it from the first through the fourth ceremony. Each night was different. Each ceremony was different, and each ceremony helped me address a different trauma. Hands down, I've done everything. To be honest with you, I've done individual, group therapy, equine therapy, art therapy, music therapy, and nothing has been able to really touch this to bring me home. Like, I feel like I'm home now. Like, coming back from war, I come back and I didn't feel like I fit in with society. Like, no one understood what I went through, the sacrifices that we made over there, the losses that we took. And you try and get somebody to understand that, and it's really, really difficult. Unless you've been through it, you know how you feel. But I never felt like I was home until Thursday night. Friday morning is when I really felt like I was home.
And in our closing group today, you shared that you weren't going to go home. If this didn't work, you weren't planning on going home.
Mm-mm.
Can you tell us a little more about that? Do you feel comfortable sharing?
Josh brought me here. He helped bring me here. My life has been difficult. You know, it's not an easy road as a veteran. It isn't. I did 10 tours. Did 8 in Afghanistan, 2 in Iraq. And I've seen the worst that human beings can do to each other. And then trying to process that and live with that on a daily basis is really difficult. And I didn't want to put myself through it. And I didn't want to put my family through it anymore, man. It's really difficult. But I'm back.
Yeah.
Like Josh, I feel amazing. I feel different. And the way I feel different is I'm not being held back by those past traumas and the horrible things that I've seen. It's like I've gotten a fresh start on it. I feel different because I feel really good. I feel really, really, really good. And I haven't felt really, really good in a long, long time. Nothing against my family, my children. I love them to death. It was me.
Yeah.
It was me.
Something that, would you say you weren't able to let go of? What was that?
Yes, I thought a lot of I blamed the traumas that I experienced in Iraq, especially April 6, 2003. It was a horrific day for me. Every year on the anniversary day, it was horrible. The week leading up to it. But sitting with ayahuasca, I was able to go back even further and merge my soul back. And from my childhood, I had a traumatic experience in my childhood, and that is, it helped me merge my soul back from Iraq and then back from my childhood. It helped gentle me. I know it sounds like I'm a horse, but I needed gentling. You can't go in to do the things that I did and be, kumbaya.
Right.
That's not our job. That's not what we were there to do. So it was very, very hard for me to gentle myself. And Aya definitely helped me do that and helped me have a very, very different perspective on it.
So I love that you said that, to gentle myself. Can you tell me, what does that mean? What does that mean for you?
I can be a gentle husband. I can be a gentle father. I don't have to be the hard ass. I don't have to be the tough veteran who doesn't cry, doesn't show any emotion anymore. Those days are gone. It just feels like I'm home, man. That feeling of home where it sits right here when, you come in, there's apple pie and your grandma's there. That's the feeling that I have now. Like, and I haven't had that. I never felt like I was back yet. I
heard one more thing, and feel free to correct me if it doesn't resonate with you, but I also heard that you can be gentle with yourself, not just with your kids and your wife, but with you.
With me, like, absolutely. I can be gentle with myself. I cannot blame myself. and take on the responsibility that I should have brought everybody home, or I could have brought everybody home. I tried, I did the best I possibly could in the horrific situations that I was in. And I forgive myself. And forgiving, man, sometimes that's a really, really hard pill to swallow. Having that forgiveness and showing you that you did do everything, I was very gentle and beautiful with me. It wasn't a stern talking to. It showed me every aspect of the things that happened to me, and it helped me reparent myself to receive those in such a gentle manner and show me the right way to do things instead of having violence placed upon you, to beat it into you.
Right. And the other part is that I'm not hearing gentle means weak.
Mm-mm.
I'm hearing gentle and strong.
Yes.
Which to me is the mature masculine.
Yeah.
Right. There's like an immature masculine, which is sort of Lord of the Flies, might makes right. There's
Right.
a mature masculine, which is I set the tone and lead. I'm inclusive. You talked about equine therapy.
Beautiful.
And
Love it.
right. And one of the things we see with wild horses is there's two types of alpha. There's the alpha that leads the herd with domination and fear. There's the other alpha that they call consensual leadership, which means con with sensual sensing. So we sense together. So we're a herd and we're in a strange territory, but you know where the water is in this land, and I'm the alpha. I'm going to step back and let you lead us to water. That each of us have particular capacities and skills and talents and gifts that the real masculine allows each person to share their gifts and talents and to step forward.
On that note,
Yeah.
you really hit the nail on the head with that. During this week, I leaned on Josh and you. And I know at times you leaned on me and you leaned on
I
me.
leaned on
Oh, yeah.
both of y'all.
Having gentlemen that were in the same places that I were, experienced the same things that I did, was so, you cannot put a price tag on that.
Yeah.
To be able to be like, hey man, I need to talk to you about something. Did you experience this? Yeah, I did too. And just to be able to process it with somebody, that 5 to 8 minutes it's priceless.
Wow.
Like you can't really understand it unless you've been through it. But to have like these two gentlemen here with me this week was amazing.
Oh, so beautiful,
Same.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Same.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And now you didn't know these guys before.
No,
Just
I did not.
Happened to be here at the same time, and this beautiful connection emerged.
Yeah.
What brought you here, brother?
I had a friend that came through it, and she was just seeing what I was going through in life, and I watched her journey through it and how much it improved her life and what she got out of it. So, unlike Bobby, I hadn't tried much. I was just unable to disassociate with the military. I struggled and struggled. I got out in 2006. I didn't age cap till 21. I almost went back in probably 6 times in between there. And I mean, it was even after I married my wife, and she's like, what's going on? So it was just, I told him about one visual I had in breathwork. It explained it. I was hovering above a convoy I was on in Iraq, and it was at that point in my life, that was what made me feel the calmness, uncontrolled chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Just that's where I felt at home. And it was just that I was being a functional provider. I had no nurturing love to come out of me. This week has definitely brought it out. I probably cried. There are a lot of happy tears. First night was some purging some tears, but probably cried more this week than I have in 20 years. And it unwrapped 41. I'm 46. It unwrapped 41 years. Explained a lot. And the last night I went down a dark spot, found some ancestral links that I purged out and forgave. And it explained a lot of feeling I had just throughout my life, that something was not right.
Right.
And just this feeling in you that there's something in me that's not right. And that came out Tuesday. and was resolved. So
You said two things that really hit me. One was you were more comfortable in chaos,
yeah.
right? And now I've never experienced combat, but what I have seen working with individuals that come through here is that, and again, you got to tell me if I'm on the right track, but it seems that, you know, when you're in a combat situation, you modulate to that high alert
Mhm.
for everything. There's never an off, right?
Correct.
And then you come back into a situation and you're still regulated here. And it's just impossible to come. People are like, you're not in that situation anymore, but your body's like your nervous system, everything. And somehow with ayahuasca, it helps to reset that high alert, hyper awareness that's required. The other thing that you said was, oh, I lost it. It was so good. It was so good. That you came back. It'll come back to me. But your experience. Oh, that this idea that something was broken in you, right? Which comes seemingly from combat, right? Like I'm broken. I can't fit back in. There's something wrong with me. But you noticed that story of I'm broken or there's something wrong with me was from way earlier.
Yeah.
And you talked about,
Yes.
oh yeah, this was a combat thing, but I went back to childhood.
Yes.
Did you have the same experience?
Oh, yeah, I went to childhood too.
So, you know, this to me talks to us about the fact that we really are creating our own reality.
Mm-hmm.
We create our experience, and so much of it is based on these stories that we tell ourselves when we're young that get imprinted, that become real. And then we recreate them in all these different environments. Does that resonate with you guys?
Yeah, and it's not, you hit a good point, because it's not necessarily, because probably we all thought it's related to combat. That's how we got that way. No, it's what happened earlier in our life that got us in that situation, most probably that we were comfortable going in that situation, and that was just where our life was at that point.
Right. It was an extension
Yeah.
of that thing.
Thrived in combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Thrived.
The first night made it very apparent I didn't love myself. So how was I going to love my kids and wife properly if I didn't love myself?
That's so huge, right? And it's so cliche, right?
Yeah.
That's like the oldest self-help thing is, you know, you can't love anybody until you love yourself. But that shit's true,
Yeah,
true.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Yeah.
very true.
Beautiful. Would you, you know, so I'd love for you to speak to other veterans, and then also open this up to, you know, you can obviously see all the other people that were non-veterans that were here. So to share, like to open this up from,
I got you.
you know, to what you saw this week, that you would share with people about this experience. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Can I start with you, brother?
Yeah. Like I said, I've seen multiple people it helped before I came, and then I know what I experienced and how I feel from last Sunday to today, Saturday. I was playing it today. I want to hug the room. I mean, can I hug the earth right now? I went from no vulnerability to, after every session I spoke. That just wasn't me before.
Yeah.
And I mean, for everybody out there, if you're considering this, it's worth it. It is worth it.
Thank you, brother. And whatever variation of that, you don't have to answer both those questions, one or both, or whatever you feel, brother.
Oh. To the other veterans out there, a lot of time in combat, a lot of violence, a lot of horrific things that I've seen, and trying to come back. I feel you. I know how you feel. If you're being turned away by the VA and you cannot get in to get help, don't quit. Don't give up. If you're having second thoughts about coming down here, because there's maybe not going to be a veteran here. Maybe there will. You don't know who's going to be here. You don't know who's going to show up, and they might not even say that they're a veteran. I was received with open arms. I was received with open arms from everyone, civilian and veteran. And by saying that, I spoke my truth. I said things that I have not spoken and told another human being. I said it out loud because I suffered in silence and I almost died in silence. So you were brave enough to go to the battlefield. You were brave enough to do whatever you did as a veteran. You're brave enough to do that. You're brave enough to come here. You will be welcomed, I promise you, more than you've ever been welcomed in any other place. Mm-hmm. And just because they didn't serve doesn't mean that they don't have trauma. I witnessed and heard things today. I quickly grabbed my trauma back. I'm like, no, I'll keep mine. So,
yeah.
And more hugs and more tears were shed for me by me gentling myself and coming back to my true self on Friday from everyone in my group. So it wasn't just these guys. It was a group as a collective that welcomed me home and made me feel like I was home. And that's been a long, long time. I haven't had that. Thank you. Be brave. Come.
Thank you, Bob. That was beautiful. Thank you. All right. Bring us home, Josh.
Let's do it. So yeah, I would just say that ayahuasca is a very special plant medicine. It has completely transformed my life, and it can completely transform anyone's life who comes down here. It has this amazing ability of putting you back in your own body and allows you to feel feelings again. Mm-hmm. And I think that is the most incredible gift you can get. And I would just encourage any vet to come down here because I struggled with the VA for years. Prior to me coming down here last time in May, I was on 13 different medications.
Wow.
The VA just wants to medicate us, and we were never getting at the root of the problem. And Aya takes you to the root of the problem and heals your heart. And that is the most beautiful thing.
So beautifully said, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You done?
Yeah.
One other thing, if you're considering, the staff down here is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I never felt safer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 nights, I was on the lawn connecting with Mother Earth, and 2 of the nights I was rebirthed, and that's where the angels brought me on a mattress to finish my night, and process and do work. So I had ups and downs through the whole thing, but I definitely came with I got more out of it than I thought I was going to get out of it, and in a way better place. I had to convey the staff, teachers, everybody, the angels. Taita was amazing. The energy Taita puts off is just, and guy loves life.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to say it. You can just hear it in him, hear it in his laugh. It's amazing.
Yeah. Taita is a signifier of chief for the Inga tribe, which is the indigenous culture that one of our lead indigenous shamans comes from. Our lead indigenous shaman, who is Taita Juanito. So when they're saying Taita, they're talking about Taita, who's one of the chiefs of the Inga tribe, who's here, who led our Thursday night ceremony. So, man, gentlemen, thank you. I mean, this has been amazing. Yes, and thank you all.
I love my family. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for supporting me.
Guys.
This will be on YouTube or whatever you guys. I'll give you the link. You can check it out, share it with your family. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Saturday. Peace and blessings. All right, we're going to turn this one off.